totally new market category. So now they're competing against Maggi, which is owned by Nestle, and Coleman's, which is owned by Unilever. So this is super exciting. But when I tell it to my customers in other countries, they're like, oh, good for you, because they don't know who Bisto is. But everyone here is like, oh my god, Bisto, and they're like, yeah, gravy. But it's not anymore. So yeah, so if you see it in the shops, feel free to buy it and try it, and post it on Instagram, because Bisto don't have an Instagram. Isn't that bonkers? So there's like no content there, so feel free to help develop it. And then in America, we're going to be launching in March with Kroger. That's one of the top 5 supermarkets, and we're going to be going nationwide into 1,800 shops, and they're going to offer a Q-bag over the fresh fish and seafood counter. So you basically will be able to like say, I want salmon with this dirty butter, and chuck it in the bag, and people can take it home and cook it straight away. So that's tripled our business already this year, which is insane.
Wow.
And then that just kind of makes me afraid of a new chapter, not so much a fear of failure anymore, because I've done that and then come out of the other end. Now I'm kind of more afraid of success. So I've not really imagined that on a massive scale, and it looks like I might have to start doing that soon. So yeah, so takeaway. Really funny. 3 takeaways. Step out of your comfort zone. You're already doing that because you're already there at uni anyway. But I love this little meme. It's like, oh, have a key, you open the door, and there's like 100 more doors. And yeah, that really plays into how I often just always feel overwhelmed. Like the more you learn, the more you realise you don't know. It's quite a challenge. But yeah, it's good. Like, be curious, question things, form and share your own opinions, especially at interviews, because people, again, like people are so stuck in their own ways. If you can do it without being offensive, it can definitely get you quite far. And people want to hear something different about their company and their industry and their marketplace. So I would say go for it. Yeah, this is an important one. Lots of people confuse being busy for being productive. You can waste your whole day doing absolutely nothing and be busy, but not feel satisfied at the end of the day. So you have to be strict with yourself sometimes. You have to start your hardest task in the morning first thing instead of wasting all your time all day doing meaningless things and then stressing about stuff at the end of the day. I always thought that over the years I would get better at not doing things last minute. That hasn't worked, so I've just accepted that now. I'll constantly never be ready. But I think that's fine. So it pushes you to do it. And yeah, be yourself. There's lots of people use like a SWOT analysis, use to like identify your weaknesses and your strengths, and work on your weaknesses and convert them to strengths. I don't really fully believe that really. I think you know what you're good at, and you know how well you work in certain ways, and you should totally pursue that instead of trying to fit into a box that you're not in, you probably never will be in. So be yourself, accept it, and move forward. Yeah, that's it really. These are a couple of things that are quite good. I don't know if you've seen the Jar of Life video. That's quite good. I'm not going to recreate it because I'm really curious. But do we have time? Maybe would it work if I clicked on it?
Yeah.
There's a well-known story about a university professor who wanted to make a point about how we make the most of our time. The professor stood before his class with some items in front of him. When the class began, without speaking, he picked up a large empty jar and proceeded to fill it with rocks about 2 inches in diameter. He then asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed that it was full. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. He shook the jar lightly and watched as the pebbles rolled into the open areas between the rocks. The professor then asked the students again if the jar was full. They chuckled and agreed that it was indeed full this time. The professor picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. The sand filled the remaining open areas of the jar. Now, said the professor, I want you to recognise that this jar signifies your life. The rocks are the truly important things, such as family, health and relationships. If all else was lost and only the rocks remained, your life would still be meaningful. The pebbles are the other things that matter in your life, such as work or school. The sand signifies the remaining small stuff and material possessions. If you were to put sand into the jar first, there is no room for the rocks or the pebbles. The same can be applied to your lives. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you will never have room for the things that are truly important. Pay attention to the things in life that are critical to your happiness and well-being. Take time to look after your health, play with your children, go for a run, write a letter to your grandmother. There will always be time to go to work, clean the house or watch TV. Take care of the rocks first. The things that really matter, set your priorities. The rest is just pebbles and sand.
So yeah, that was quite key really, especially when I was really busy doing working and studying. With constant pressure, like I should be working, I should be reading this paper, I should be studying more, I should be this, should be that. Just have to let it go. There's always time for Netflix.
It's still on the YouTube. It's a nice one.
Yeah, so has anyone got any? Oh, I can show you a quick video about Cuba as well.
Click on the
Control.
yeah.
There we go.
Does cooking a perfectly delicious and succulent meal sometimes seem impossible? As you dash around the kitchen trying not to burn the meat or overcook the veg. Slow down. There's a much easier way that guarantees scrumptious results every time. Q-bags, aluminum foil cooking bags. Ideal for the oven, barbecue, and campfire. They're strong, leak-proof, and easy to use. Simply add your ingredients, such as meats, fish, vegetables, sauces, and spices. Then, fold the bag twice to close. Leave the viewing window closed to steam or peel it off for a great roast or barbecue flavor outside. You can place Q-bags side by side to cook different foods at the same time. And peel back the window during cooking to stir or taste your dish. Why spend hours over a pot to prepare a less than satisfactory meal? And then even more time scrubbing pans in the kitchen. Enjoy the best part of your meal, the eating, and let Q-bags take the hassle and stress out of cooking.
Yeah, that's something I've always wanted to do for Cuba, like make these little videos. So I got a few briefs from local agencies in Manchester, and they were thousands of pounds, and I was like, there's got to be a cheaper way to do this. Then I discovered this website called Fiverr, with 2 R's on the end, and there's just freelancers doing all kinds of things. And I got this for 200 quid.
Wow.
Excellent.
So that went through. Tim was like, you can do this. I was like, I know. Yeah, that's it really.
Okay, questions? Well, I've got a few questions, Sonia. Thank you very much. I'm fascinated about what you said at the end. One of the slides where you were saying about, show your vulnerability, or
Yeah.
do you want to expand on that a bit? I'm curious about that.